if AJ looks like Cooper Flagg this season, I think you look at things maybe a little bit differently with Domantas Sabonis, and Zach is going to be gone, so maybe somebody, you can get somebody in free agency or trade, whatever the case is.
What's Dallas doing right now, though? Aren't they kind of hoping to get another really top-end pick?
No, they are, but I would say that Dallas is a mess because you don't have Anthony Davis, he wasn't playing, and you didn't have Kyrie.
Kings are a mess.
I think we never saw him at full strength.
What are you saying? Are you saying that hybrid rebuild's on the board? Because you're very
I think it's on the board.
Elusive.
I think it's on the board.
I think it'd be a huge mistake.
I think it's horrifying.
Well, I think that you guys sound like it's going to be rough anyway. So,
well, my point is for us as well. Kings fans that are listening, they want to see the team be competitive as soon as they can. I totally understand that.
And I'm speaking for them.
But what does it change if they come out next year and they win 37 games and they make the 10 seed and they lose one game and they get a bad draft pick?
Oh, it matters to someone.
To Scott Perry's point, they don't want to just get in the play-in and then be happy they were there. They want, when they make the playoffs, that we're trying to be in the playoffs for the next 5 years at least.
We got to take time out. You guys
take a breath.
You're welcome.
Take a breath.
Yeah, we'll come back. Alan's got something he's got to say. Alan is all of a sudden Mr. Hybrid Rebuild.
I just want people to be happy.
We'll find out how Alan can make us all happy. All Kings fans happy next. Sactown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
What's cracking? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram and Woodland. Chad, tell us what's happening for Ram Truck Month.
Well, there's no better time to get a Ram than Ram Truck Month. Right now, save up to $15,000 off MSRP on new 2026 Ram 1500 crew cabs. Or save big when you take advantage of the $7,000 Hoblet discount and get 0% financing for 60 months. You'll save thousands in finance charges on top of the huge Hoblet discount.
Yeah, I can't even believe 0% financing is an option at the moment.
It's not an easy thing to find nowadays, but we're always looking to help you save money. Plus, with over 400 new Rams available, you can save big on your perfect Ram. At Hoblet, we focus on you and helping you get the Ram you need.
Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
15,000 total net savings on select new 2026 Ram 1500 Laramie after 8,000 factory rebates and 7,000 dealer discounts. Rebates may include 2,000 select inventory bonus cash on select inventory, 1,000 SFS bonus cash, must finance through Stellantis, 500 on the job upfit, must show eligible upfit, 5% savings, see dealer for details.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to A to Z Savings, our biggest sale of the year.
Happy to be here. Can I get some rotors?
Would you like brake pads with that?
How much are the brake pads?
Free with Duralast rotors.
Free? Really?
Really? Free.
I also need some oil.
Would you like an oil filter with that?
Yeah. How much is that?
Free with the oil.
Free? Really?
Really. Free. It's part of A to Z Savings with hundreds of deals.
From A to free.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Ends March 9th. Restrictions apply.
Welcome to guided meditation. Close your eyes. You're at the beach. The seagulls are calling. You take out your iPhone 16e you got from Cricket and use Apple Intelligence to clean up that selfie you just took. It's a good one. You send it to your friends instantly thanks to reliable nationwide 5G. They're totally jealous. Get iPhone 16e for $49.99 when you switch. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Requires new line on the Supreme Unlimited plan. First service charge and tax due at sale. $25 activation fee. Terms and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. See store for details.
Planet Fitness has everything you need, anytime the motivation hits. So you can give everything you've got. With most clubs open 24 hours, you've got access to our best-in-class equipment to tackle early morning reps, late night miles, and every workout in between. Join the club today and save $28 or more when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends February 27th. You ready? Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See club for details.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Yeah, in fact, we've got a fascinating baseball tidbit here. But first, we got to find out Alan's idea and why he's really pushing all of a sudden, once again, this hybrid tank, which he always says, no, I'm not doing it. I'm just saying. But here we are again, Alan, discussing it with you. The upside of which would be, for those that don't know, we're talking about a real short rebuild, right? Like get in,
you already
get a
have
good
some
player,
pieces,
then
yes.
you're back at it already.
Yeah, you already have some pieces. And I know, look, if you were able to get 2 lottery picks, even if you lost Keegan, that would be an interesting turn. I think it would be more so full rebuild because you'd have 2 kind of cornerstone pieces to go along with your young guys, and Keegan would be gone at that point. But assuming that they just have the one, and whether it's 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, I don't know. I just get caught up when we're listening to our good friends, Frankie Cardicelli and Brendan Nunez, and they're talking about how hard it is, and it's going to take 3 more years. And I look around, Whitey, and I look at the Pistons, and yeah, they're the 1 seed, and I guess in theory it should be sustained success. They're also in the East, right? I think things are different. I think location matters. I think your conference matters. And if you do find lightning in a bottle, I'm just of the mindset that you shouldn't sell that lightning because, I don't know, the hybrid rebuild, you can look at that and think to yourself, well, life's too short, right? If you do get Domas playing well and you do get Darren Peterson who's balling out and Keegan Murray's having a career year, very similar to Beam Team, I'm not necessarily saying to abandon anything. I'm just saying
keeping your options open.
If you're going to get 3 first-rounders for Sabonis, then yes, do it. But if you're still looking at, okay, Toronto finally said they'll give you the first rounder, and at that point now next season, Domantas Sabonis would be expiring anyway, and you can have a conversation with him, then I wouldn't be so quick to make some of those moves. That's the same example I've been using if you are the Phoenix Suns next season. If it looks bad, I'm not saying they're barely the 10 seed. I'm just saying if you catch lightning in a bottle, you don't need to sell that. We don't have a lot of lightning bugs out here, but on the East Coast, you got the lightning bugs. If you catch a lightning bug and let it go so we can, still live. But if you catch a lightning bug, you don't necessarily have to do away with it immediately because you just don't know what's going to happen. Right? You don't.
But I think if you were to get a great pick this year and then decide, all right, we're back at it next year, that's been one of the problems with the Kings over the since Vivek has owned them. It's been they can't stay with one plan. They go this way, then no, we're going this way. Now we're going this way. Now we're going that way. And I know a long rebuild is painful, but they have to commit to it. Now you're this far into it. If next year they were to decide, we got Domantas, let's keep Domas and we're back at it, then in a way you'd be wasting a lot of what you went through this year.
I also think
you'd also be limiting what you could eventually achieve.
I know that we continue to talk about draft picks and what type of compensation that would be. I'll give you this. I'll also look at that and say, we can open this up to younger players, right? Maybe an up-and-coming player that the Kings think, I'm not going to say Şengün because they wouldn't move Şengün, but somebody that Yves Missi probably isn't that. But if it was Yves Missi and a first or something like that for Sabonis in whatever world that we're living in here, my comparison, as we've talked about baseball a little bit today, would be the Giants with Rafael Devers. Now, it didn't end up working out this season. They ended up having to buy and sell. They might be the first team to buy and sell during one trade period, but I'll never forget Buster Posey was on the broadcast, and he said, I feel like these guys earned an opportunity to take that next step because of how good the beginning of the season was. Now, you signed Rafi Devers to hopefully make a push that season, but it also was a cornerstone moving forward. So I'm not necessarily saying you don't move Domas or only move him for draft picks, whatever it is. If there's a young guy out there that you think maybe it makes it, you're not as good this season, but you like who he could be, I'm good with that as well. I'm just saying the idea that the Kings are going to be in
that's who RJ Barrett would have been, right?
I guess. I wouldn't.
That was the idea.
I would not do that. But
that was the concept.
That was the concept. I just get really scared of the luck that is required. Let's not forget, everyone's talking about the Pistons. The Pistons stunk for a long time.
I think it was 5 years? At least 5 years.
Before they finally figured it out, and then they had to stink with Cade. It's just a lot of stinking, and I know Kings fans are saying, well, this is the proper way to stink. I get it. But you could go back in 2027, and that draft
That's when I got cap space.
Right, but that draft pick could be a miss, right? And you don't know that they're a miss yet. We just talked about this yesterday. You're 2-3 years down the line, and now you got to go find some talent that matches with the 2026 draft pick. So I don't know. There's so many moving parts. I'm just not poo-pooing the idea of, hey, if it's a good season and everybody is playing at their peak, you shouldn't necessarily sell that off because there's just too many factors, Whitey. Too many.
I'm with you, but I think assuming that there are going to be some missteps that will set you back, you almost have to accept that as part of the deal as well, as difficult as that is. You go back again to Detroit. And the Pistons, it worked, right? Once you come out of it, it's like, it was worth it. 2020 NBA draft, the Pistons, very early in this whole process, they had the 7th pick. So it was Ant, Wiseman, LaMelo, Patrick Williams, Isaac Okoro, Onyeka Okongwu.
Yeah.
The Pistons with the 7th pick took Killian Hayes.
Yeah, that was bad.
It was a terrible pick.
So,
and so that set them back. But that's part of it. If you're going to go that route, it's almost, I think, in order to do it well, you've got to commit to it and accept that somewhere along the lines, you're going to make some mistakes, and you got to be willing to stick it out and overcome them eventually. Killian Hayes with the 7th pick.
There's a lot of factors for me, Whitey. Sacramento, how the market is viewed. I would say once you get out here, there's a lot more to Sacramento than what meets the eye. But the narrative for Sacramento as an organization, the narrative for Sacramento just as a market, I don't know. There's just it just makes things tougher. Being in the Western Conference versus the Eastern Conference just makes things really tough.
So what are you saying? You're saying you can't afford the long rebuild? Is that what you're saying? Is it like it's too perilous?
I just continue to say if they sink next season, obviously that's an obvious conversation, right? That's an easy conversation. If they don't sink next season, I don't know. You got to see what's out there. That's all I'm saying.
Real quick, before we get back to the draft, what do you think of this? A lot of baseball fans are upset because MLB on televised games this season, they're not going to show the strike zone. You know how you always see the strike zone?
Yes.
It won't be shown anymore. Baseball says they don't want other teams in the clubhouse watching the game going,
challenge.
Yeah. ABS, that was a ball.
That makes sense. I don't really mind it because there are challenges. If there weren't challenges, then for the viewing perspective, I'd want it. But I understand it.
I actually got to the point where I was annoyed by the fact that I couldn't watch a game without that being on there.
Right.
So I'm okay with it, but a lot of people are really upset.
Yeah, the fact that you can challenge, and obviously, teams are going to try to save challenges just like they do in football and basketball. But the fact that you can challenge, I understand it.
Yeah, it makes sense. There's also a really funny video going around where they ask major leaguers, who on your team do you not want to challenge? And there's some, because they go, that guy always thinks it's a strike.
Right,
it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Pretty funny. So when we come back, another red flag race for Darren Peterson last night. But Alan still thinks he's the first pick. Or does he? We'll find out next on Sactown Sports.
Stay up to date on Sacramento sports. Join the Sactown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit SactownSports.com.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's Carmichael Dave wanting you to join Capital Casino every Wednesday for their midweek madness drawing, giving away $2,000 in total cash starting at 6 p.m. in a safe, friendly environment. Plenty of well-lit parking available, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. And remember, Capital Casino has the best food, the best service every Wednesday for their midweek madness drawing, giving away $2,000 in total cash starting at 6 p.m. in a safe, friendly environment. Plenty of well-lit parking available, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. And remember, Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Injured and you're considering an LA law firm looking to charge you 45% to 50% in attorney's fees? That's overcharging. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years, and I can tell you no matter how complicated your injury case, you should never be charged 45% or 50% in attorney's fees ever. Direct, experienced, unrelenting, and honest local representation matters. It's called Home Court Advantage for a reason. Ashton & Price serious local attorneys for serious people with serious injuries. So for the best local advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
When life calls for a little extra, a kitchen upgrade, paying off debt, or that dream vacation, Valley Strong Credit Union is here to help. With a Valley Strong home equity loan, you can tap into your home's value with competitive rates, flexible terms, and local guidance you can trust. Get approved in as little as 5 minutes, with funding in as few as 5 days. Your goals are within reach. Visit valleystrong.com to get your offer today. Valley Strong Credit Union. Grow your possibilities. Equal housing lender, NMLS number 456506.
Have you tried my Colombian tamales?
Yes, but the Mexican tamales I brought are way better.
Colombian tamales wrapped in plantain leaves are unmatched, you know.
But the Mexican tamales wrapped in corn husks are the authentic ones.
At least we can agree that they taste better with Pepsi.
Without a doubt, tamales deserve Pepsi. No matter what tamales you love, enter for a chance to win a year's worth of groceries. Powered by Pepsi. No purchase necessary. U.S. residents 18 or over. Ends April 5th, 2026. Rules at pepsipromo.com/free groceries. Pepsi is a registered trademark of Pepsi Go Inc.
At Stockton Honda, we know how to honor a great deal. Like right now during our President's Day sales event. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, you can find star-spangled savings on some of our best models. Why not stop in today and see for yourself? Come celebrate at Stockton Honda and get huge savings on our giant selection, plus top dollar for your trade.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports 1140. Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Real quick before we get into draft prospects and the draft, we had today word from the NBA that they're planning to crack down on tanking. No, this was today. I know that they've been talking about that for a week. So you have the NBA explaining what some of the measures they're looking at are. Now you've got people in the media one by one pointing out how stupid these ideas are. So I don't know. I don't know if the NBA really has any hope really of solving this. But it's all about the draft, especially this year. The draft with so many great players presumably available. Last night was an interesting night for the guy who looks like he'll be the first pick. We'll see about that. More red flags for your guy, Darren Peterson, last night.
Bad. This one.
Oh, he played well.
He played well. This is the worst one yet, though. And this is, you know why? It's because it's the first time we've heard Bill Self speak on it in this way.
It's almost like he was trying to separate himself from it.
Yes. He said, this has happened a couple different times, specifically tonight, which if we're reading the back end of it, which means that they've had to have conversation. They've had conversations, but in this specific situation, he went in thinking, okay, I'm getting a Darren Peterson game today. And then Darren Peterson either actually, I don't know, why was it sickness? I don't even know what it was. Sickness.
I think they said it was cramping.
Sickness or cramping, got pulled out. And yeah, Bill Self, he did protect it at the end and say he could have had a really big night. So he's very good at what he does and how he's doing this. But it wasn't a great look, and I appreciate the conversations that we've had about Paolo Banchero, how he did have some cramping situations at Duke his year. But I don't know. I think the difference is that was it, right? With Paolo, there were no conversations about does Paolo want to play and anything like that. He just legitimately had cramping issues, and people were worried about that, but it wasn't on top of all of this.
Yeah, cramps are the official explanation. We've had this happen more than a couple times, said Bill Self. I didn't anticipate that tonight at all. I thought he was good to go. We only got 18 minutes out of him. Disappointing. He could have had a really big night. And then you talked about the optics, the video of him. He shoots, he scores, and then as on his way back up the floor, he kind of points to the coach like, yeah.
And if I recall,
Bill Self right away, like getting a sub in there.
And, well, because he knows it, what's on the line. What I recall, though, if I'm not mistaken, Whitey, and we can search this as well, I remember, and I'm not comparing injuries here, but I feel like I remember Paolo Banchero like hunched over, like on the bench, when he was cramping. And I know all cramping is different, but hunched over. Remember that thing that came out? He loses however many pounds during a game. So I don't know. I'm not trying to compare injuries or whatever you want to call it, but it just doesn't rub me the right way. I don't think it rubs anybody the right way. You can ignore it if you want. That's your prerogative. I think
23 points in 18 minutes. I ain't ignoring that.
Well, I think if this was 2027, I'd be ignoring it. But in 2026, I don't think I have to ignore it. And that just depends on how high you are on Darren Peterson. Brandon Nunes said he'd fight till the death on Darren Peterson. That's how much he believes in him. If he's just bored or doesn't want to risk injury, whatever the case is, I still remain that if these guys can get paid millions of dollars, they can come out, or their camp can come out and say something.
Yeah.
And maybe that's not going to happen because it's still, he's still not property, but he's still a part of the school. But I feel like and maybe that's why people have said, well, why haven't we heard anything? Because there's no way you can let that dude get in front of the media.
Jay Williams on ESPN Today said, if I were a general manager, I'd be extremely concerned about Darren Peterson. His talent is unquestionable. It's elite, but I don't feel like he really wants to be there. Okay, but NBA teams are going to get a chance to ask him and talk to doctors, and that's the difference. NBA GMs, anybody who is going to evaluate him come draft time, they're going to get to talk to him about all this. The rest of us, we're just from afar looking on TV and going, that doesn't look right. It doesn't mean we're right.
No, it doesn't mean we're right, but I would also ask the question, like we've mentioned before, at best, he's kind of selling this and doesn't want to get injured. At worst, he's had one of the most injury-riddled seasons we've seen in a very long time. So if you are a GM, if you're Scott Perry and you're going in to meet with Darren Peterson and you just got the first pick, what is Darren Peterson, you're bringing up, hey, they're going to get to talk to him. What is Darren Peterson going to say? Yeah, I was just...
Well, of course, it's the way he says it, too.
Right. I got unlucky this season with a bunch of injuries. I know there were conversations.
What would you ask him? What would your questions be?
I would say, all right, Darren, obviously, you missed some games due to injuries. There were a lot of, theories being thrown around about you wanting to save your draft stock. Just be real with me. As we're looking for somebody to be our cornerstone. It's a very strong draft. What was going on? That's simple.
Yeah.
And if you're Darren Peterson, there's two options. Whether it's, to be honest with you, my camp and I decided that we didn't want to risk things. We saw Caleb Wilson go down and others, and that was the plan we went into it with. And when things happened, I did feel a little something, but we did know that we wanted to manage our minutes. Or the other side of it, no, I wanted to play every minute, but every time I was out, there was a reason. And I think the second option is worse, right?
I wouldn't even give him the benefit of a question. I would give him the statement and see what he did with it. I would say, credible talent based on the way you played some games, you missed a lot of games. I'm not sure you're a team player. And then I would see how he responded to that.
I like that.
You know, I'm not giving him the benefit of a question.
We can do good cop, bad
lay it
cop.
out there, and then what do you got to say about that?
Yeah. Hey, that'll be good cop. Hey, Darren, we really like you. We really do. We just want to make sure that we're all on the same page here. Was it your pops? Who was it? And just see what he says there. Does he throw somebody under the bus? What's the deal? Because it's so funny. We always go back to LeVar Ball because of how loud he was, but a lot of these guys, their families, whether it's a brother or a dad or an uncle or a mother, a lot of these family members are very much in the mix. They're just not on first take with Stephen A. like LeVar Ball was. So I would just want to know, what am I getting into? We just said no to Ja Morant. His pops is always on the sideline, right? Is always on the side of the court, right? Right there, having a good time. So I just in full need to know, what am I getting into? Because think about the whole situation with Kawhi and, his camp and things like that. Is this going to stop when you get to the NBA? Or is this going to be a situation where we say, hey, our doctors say you're good to play? And think about it like this, Whitey. We just talked about this with Darren Peterson and the draft. You know what I'm thinking about? That rookie extension, a contract year. I know in theory you should be playing even harder in a contract year. But if Darren Peterson wins Rookie of the Year and the first 3 years of his deal he's been outstanding, he might say, hey, I don't want to get hurt in a contract year.
Mm-hmm.
And our camp is saying that.
Jerry Reynolds left me a message. I haven't called him back yet, but after the game last night, I say, we're fans. We look at it. This is a guy who's done it for a living. Yo, Whitey. Anyway, I'm starting to get worried about our guy Peterson. He did it again. Played a half. What are we going to do here? Come on. Guy's got to be able to play more than a half, doesn't he?
I think the safest thing that I've discussed is the fact that I would be worried. Now, I know if you go to a bad team, then you're probably going to be bad again next season. But I've always kind of sat there and thought, if this dude is not even going to eclipse 35 games on the season, how is he going to be ready to play 82?
That's a fair question. He's only played, I think that was his 15th last night.
So then you have to honestly account for warming him up to an NBA season.
Yeah, but there's also this, and this is a big part of it. His talent is exceptional, exceptional, even in this draft class. So if I have a shot at him, I can't afford to be wrong because of things I'm assuming. I've got to make sure. I've got to look into it because he's going to be – next year he's going to be a star.
Yeah.
Domantas, he could end up being a great player. I don't know that next year. I think Domantas is going to need more time. Domantas is an excellent player. They're all excellent players at the top of this draft. Darren Peterson is smooth enough. He's got ceiling still, but he shoots so well. He does so many things so well already. So if I'm going to pass on him, I've got to make sure I have a really good reason. Optics can't be it. It didn't look right.
Yeah.
That can't be it. And maybe there are good reasons, but I got to make sure. Because if I pass on this guy and he ends up being Kobe-esque in any way, I'm going to regret that for a long time.
Especially if you're the Kings.
Yes.
Now, I don't need to name names, but the writers would have a field day with that. Whitey, do you think that he's to the point now where, let's say it didn't go well. Let's say worst case scenario, he has this crazy ceiling, but there's just some issues once he gets to the team. I'm not talking off the court, but just he's sitting or maybe he's actually injured. Do you think he is so good that the rest of the NBA would bag on the Kings if they took Darren Peterson? Or would, not that this matters, but it kind of does. Or would the rest of the NBA say, you know what? The Kings had to take a big swing and it ended up not working out for them, but they had to do it.
I honestly think, given the way the national media looks at the Kings, if they had a shot at Peterson, if they take him, they'll be banged for it. If they pass on him, they'll be banged for it.
You're probably right.
Either way, it's going to be, they're so stupid, no matter what they do.
Yeah, but where they're at now, if you have you don't like striking out, right? But if you're down one run and it's
I'm Jack Cuss, baby, 3 true outcomes.
Well,
I'll strike out because next time
that's
up,
the worst.
I'm going yard bird or the base on balls.
Or you're striking out again.
Yeah.
But, it gets to the point where you're looking at, if you're down 3 runs and it's bases loaded, 2 outs, this is not the time to just make contact. You might as well swing for the fences because a single does you nothing. And that's how I feel the Kings have to
drives
approach.
in 2 runs. I mean, pardon me, but with this analogy,
You
Jay,
got 2
am I
outs.
right if I'm down?
No, you got 2 strikes on you.
I get a base hit. I'm driving in 2.
Easy, 2 ribbies.
No. There's 2 strikes. 2 strikes. Your best hitter is up. You do not want him swinging for a ball through the 4-hole. I need you dropping that shoulder, Jay.
Alan.
Yeah, you a product of the new environment here.
I need you dropping that shoulder.
Launch angle type guy.
Yeah, get into that jet stream. You backspin that
I'll
thing.
take the 2.
Nah, you're not taking
take
the 2.
2 runs right
Not
there.
if that 2 is for the Kings. You can't take the 2 because you know what? The next
I
person
didn't play
is
a tempo
striking out.
like you. All due respect.
The next person is definitely striking out if that's the Kings.
2 outs in the 9th. I'm down 3 to another base load. Base hit center field. I'm feeling pretty good, Alan.
Nah, you need to you just take care of it now.
I was always told, put the pressure on the next man. Your job is to get to first base.
Then
Keep it moving.
Okay, you know what then? Cool. Now let's go get Cam Boozer. I'm glad we came to that realization. And we can get it with 2027 then.
Yeah, I don't think the Kings are going to take Peterson if they have the first pick. I don't think they want any part of him.
Wow.
Just because they love Domantas that much.
Better be right.
Oh, I know.
It's easy for me to say I like.
know. You're right.
Look, it's easy for me to say I like Domantas because I'm not the one who's going to pick him anyway.
There was an incredible movie made last night.
That's Wiggle. Darren got Wiggle, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It's halftime Wiggle. It's part-time Wiggle. At least we see Domantas the whole game. Just don't get it wrong.
Darren's so good, he doesn't have to wiggle.
You know what this reminds me of?
He's got it, but it's like, I don't need it yet.
You know what this reminds me of?
I can't wait to find out.
No. So RDLs, right? You know when you're hanging, you're standing straight and then you grab the bar and you pull up, right?
Okay.
So we're doing maxes senior year. So you know me, I'm low center of gravity. I max the most, right? My roommate, the third baseman, he got mad at me because I stopped because I had beat everybody. So I'm getting mad at Darren Peterson, but my third baseman said, Alan, his name is Henry. Alan, well, why did you stop? You didn't go till you fail. I said, what do I need to fail for? I already got the highest max. That's Darren Peterson. Maybe he is my guy after all.
Whatever became of Henry?
Henry, he works for his parents. Or no, he working with them now, Henry Knabe Trucking. And he was our guy, though. The dude can hit bombs.
Yeah?
He could hit Oppo tacos. Jetstream.
All right. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. It's time for Checkette with TC, who I know is not a big Darren Peterson guy. Hello, TC, what's up?
No, hey, what's up? Hey, what's up with my guys? Not at all. Listen, Alan, I'm out on Peterson, right? I told you, even if the Kings get the number 1 pick, it's AJ or Caleb, right? Whatever you want to pick from, right? And if they fall to number 5, the pick is the boy from Arkansas, A-Cuffs. And then you work around that, period, point blank. Now, if you want me to explain why the whole Peterson thing, I'm talking about the Peterson thing, him being a problem child, right? Him coming to Sacramento and pulling, I don't know if it's his camp, his dad, his mom, like whoever it is, him, that's not even the right mindset to even be having for the Sacramento Kings. I'm not talking about any other team. I'm talking about for the Kings. He doesn't fit. Also, we're talking about a guard position. Bro's like 6'4". They say he's 6'6", but he's 6'4", right? And he's averaging what did we say the other one? What is it? 1.9, barely 2.2 assists a game. We need a playmaker from that point.
Yeah.
Not even that. So we asking this guy to come in and average 40. What happened the last time we asked that? There was a guy number 5 in De'Aaron Fox, and it didn't happen. Bro, take the athletic wing, what you need as a Sacramento King, 6'9", AJ Domantas, that's a two-way player, a 6'10" guy, and Caleb Wilson, who can also pass the ball and play outstanding defense. But if you fall to 5, you go get a dog and a guard. I'd rather go get A-Cuff than Peterson, because I know that he gonna average 6 points, he gonna average 6 assists a game, and he can drop 40 on your head. Bro, Perry know what's going on. Peterson is gonna be a problem. We're gonna be on these airwaves talking about this kid is a problem. Don't get caught up in media and what everybody is saying. You have to take this kid if you get the number 1 pick. doing what's best for your organization and get AJ. Scott and BJ got their head on straight, and they know what's up, bro. I'm just trying to shine some light on this kid.
All right,
I'm
TC.
not digging on him, bro, but he's not it.
Thank you, TC. I will say this to TC's point. We talked yesterday about Darren Peterson had 22 assists for the year. He played last night. He still has 22 assists for the year. In 15 games, he has 22 assists.
Maybe he would have
But
got
he's
one.
a phenomenal talent.
Maybe he would have got one in the second half.
Yeah.
We'll
So
never know.
all I'm saying is, TC, is you can't afford to go, I don't like the looks of this. Maybe you don't, but you got to make sure, hey, what's going on? You know what? I didn't even want to play college basketball. I just want to get in the NBA. I mean, he's so talented. You got to look at it. As far as your guy, Acuff, you kind of shook off TC when he said Darius Acuff.
I don't know. I was half joking about the Rob Dillingham thing. It's just a smaller guard. It's just too scary.
Well, our guest yesterday, remember, who'd we have on?
James Barlow.
James Barlow, yes. He said, Acuff's like Mike Bibby. And soon after he said that, Acuff went off for 49 last
49.
night.
I got you.
Woo!
I know. It's tough, man. It's almost getting to the point where there are too many options, Whitey.
Mhm.
Don't you kind of feel like that? Because they're not all, I've said this from the beginning, they're not all going to be great. They might all be good. They're not all going to be great. Even going back to, he compared it to the 96 draft. A lot of those guys were great, but not all of them, right? Not all 10, okay? Or I guess if you're the Kings, it would be about that 5, right?
Yeah. In your mind, does Domantas have any flaws?
Shooting.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because
the
a lot of
shooting.
Kings fans, to me, it sounds like they're just, man, this guy is the greatest ever. And he may be, and he's really good. But people, it's funny because with Boozer, it's like, he's not this, he's not that. Darren Peterson, I don't know. Domantas, he's the greatest player of all time.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, and I really liked what James said yesterday because we've been trying to find, at least myself, been trying to find a name for it. And I'm sure this is probably pretty common throughout the draft spaces in general. It's just the ball handling wing. That's what he said. Because when we're talking about Denny and even Luka, right? I mean, Luka is a point guard, but he's big as heck. But that's what he said. He even said Shea. Now, I think I typically would call Shea a point guard, but he's basically basing it on size. They're ball handling wings, and he said that's what everybody is into right now. And I won't lie, I'm part of that too. I want one. I'm sorry, I can't do Acuff. He's 6'2"? I can't do Acuff.
He's listed here at 6'3".
I can't do Acuff.
Yeah. TC said that Peterson was really 6'4", so if he's 6'4", that means Acuff's like 6'1".
I don't like it. I'm telling you, I don't like it. Real quick, Whitey, just we referenced the 96 draft, and we're talking about whammies, right? So I'm going to go through
You love that term.
Yeah,
Just
I
a
do.
bad pick, right, as a whammy?
I guess it's all relative. If they're 5 stars out of the first 6 pick and you get the rotation player, that was a whammy.
Okay.
It's all relative. Doesn't have to be a bust per se.
Gotcha.
But you got Iverson 1, Camby 2, Sharif Abdur-Rahim 3, Stephon Marbury 4, Ray Allen 5, Antoine Walker 6, Lorenzen Wright 7, Kerry Kittles 8, Samaki Walker 9, Eric Dampier 10. Good, but different levels of whammy in there too.
Yeah, but then the best players are still to come.
That's true too. Get back in there. Get back in there, Scott. You got a Todd Fuller. You got your boy Kobe Bryant at 13, Paige at 14, Steve Nash at 15, Jermaine O'Neal at 17. Yeah, get back in there, Scott. Hold on now. We're not done yet. We're not done yet, Scott. You got to get back in there. But if you look at that top 5, again, different levels. Allen Iverson, Marcus Camby, Sharif Abdur-Rahim, Stephon Marbury.
My wife loves Sharif Abdur-Rahim.
Ray Allen as well. All really good, but, different levels of that as well.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk to JR. It's been hanging on. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Hello, JR. What's up?
Larry Allen. Jeez.
Yes.
The strongest man in the NFL, the Sonoma State Cossack great.
That's right, Larry Allen.
That's right.
Larry Allen.
Forgot about Larry.
You should know that, De La Salles. You should know De La, because his son went to De La Salles, right?
Probably.
Didn't his son play? Yeah, he did. Larry bench pressed like 750 pounds once for the Cowboys.
I do remember that.
Mm-hmm. I think all Larrys are born strong.
I would agree
I think
with
that's
that.
just a fact. Yeah, I would agree. And guess what? The only shirt I used to always wear was Rahif because he went to Cal. And I used to wear that number 3. I went to the Warriors-Celtics finals, and I wore that. And I always remember, what was the announcer for he was here in Sacramento. He's the announcer for the Warriors. He saw me.
Tim Roy.
He's like, what are you wearing? Tim Roy, he goes, JR, you're wearing a Sharif jersey. I stuck out like a sore thumb, but I felt so proud wearing my Kings number 3. That was a good time. That was a good draft, damn it.
You going to the game tonight?
I am. You going to be there?
I will not be. I was going to be, but now I'm, not just that you're going to be there, but I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah.
I heard they get to play like 10 minutes in the fourth quarter. Is that true?
Yeah, probably.
Yep.
Thank you, JR.
I'm gonna take some mid range. Bye bye.
All right, thank you. Yeah, that's what they do. Larry Allen.
Missed that one.
Yeah. DeBonsa was incredible last night. I don't mean to pile on DeBonsa. It just seems like a lot of people here are getting overboard on DeBonsa.
And it's the type though.
But can we agree on this? The Kings cannot afford to pick, we need this type, or we need a wing, or we need that, because they need everything.
No. I'm not saying that from a position perspective. I'm not saying, get something for Keegan. I'm saying that's just the type that everybody's looking for. Even Cade Cunningham goes 6'6". So that's just the type that everybody's looking for. If you're going to get a point guard, that's the problem with this crop of point guards. They're all slightly smaller than the Cades and the Shays. So you can go get one, and I'm sure they're going to be solid, don't get me wrong. But, I think you look at some of the current players, right, and where they sit. Let's take Darius Garland. Let's say Acuff is Darius Garland. Darius Garland's been an all-star a couple times. He's got the bag, but I don't really know what to do with Darius Garland. He can score the basketball, sure, and I think that's the fear with some of these smaller guards. They can score and they can do their thing, but as far as when you need a bucket or being that guy and you feel like there are cornerstones in this draft, I don't know if I'd call Darius Garland a cornerstone. It depends
Also,
on your example.
And smaller guys really hurt you now at the other end, too, which is one of the good things about Peterson. He's a really good defender.
Yeah.
But here, to your point here about DeBonsa, his last 5 games, February 4th against Oklahoma State, 36 points, 13 of 20 shooting. February 7th against Houston, he was 9 of 14. He had 28 points. February 10th against Baylor, 14 of 20 for 36 points. Then on Valentine's Day against Colorado, he was 6 for 20, had 20 points, but bounced back last night against Arizona, 13 of 28, 35 points, 7 rebounds, and a couple of assists for A.J. DeBonsa.
How is that three-point percentage looking right now?
Let's see here. They have him at 357.
I'm in. And I know it's different because obviously the three-point line is a little bit further back. I don't want to call it a common misconception, Whitey, but I do think that because De'Aaron Fox struggled with his shot a little bit, I do think that a lot of people believe Malik Monk to be a slightly better three-point shooter than what he is. For example, when he was playing the last couple weeks or so, and he's been shooting the ball really well this season. And we talked about this when I said, the Kings just need a shooter, right? The Kings need a Kevin Huerter type run around and get the ball. Somebody said, well, what about Malik? Malik is not a shooter. And you brought up 35%, and I bring that up because Malik Monk is a 35% career three-point shooter. And everybody thinks, oh, my goodness, no, Malik's our guy. No, he was our guy because nobody else was our guy.
Yeah.
Keegan couldn't find the bucket, and neither could Kevin Huerter. Kevin Huerter, that's the combo of them.
Right.
But, the Kings don't really have somebody that is a dead red shooter. Malik is shooting 42% this season, but for his career, he's 35. So to put that into perspective for everybody listening as far as the draft is concerned, DeBonsa is shooting the same as Malik Monk from 3 for his career.
Yeah, and I think that gets back to what you're just saying about a smaller player in today's NBA. Okay, you're small. How are you making up for it? Are you a great shooter? Or can you run point? I mean, some of these things with Malik, we love Malik, but he's not a good defender. And this is true of a lot of smaller guys. Okay, if you're small now, you got to make up for it in at least one area. And so that's something to keep in mind here with some of these smaller guards too.
Yeah.
Although again, I don't, they're listed bigger than they are, and you got to sort through that too.
I know the combine. Look, we saw what happened with Diego Pavia. Don't be out here lying. Look, normal people, and I'm not just going to say men, but normal people can lie about this. Because unless that was the worst, Whitey, when somebody would ask you something, right, or whoever it is, but then somebody would say, "Well, I have a brother who's that height, and I think he's tall. I think he's taller than you." Well, no, I don't know. Maybe your brother's lying. Maybe he had a growth spurt. I don't know.
I got an Uncle Larry that's taller.
I got an Uncle Larry.
Yeah.
Are you sure you're 5'10"?
Yeah. We'll come back with a look at which NBA team is least likely to win a title in the next 10 years. We'll crunch the numbers when we come back to Sactown Sports.
Domantas Sabonis plays here.
He finds Sabonis, put the frosting on the cake, put the cherry on the sundae. Sabonis with a two-hand flush makes it 114-106.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Elk Grove Honda.
I'm Dirk Verdorn in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Expect to have the chance for rain increasing as we go through the night tonight with southerly winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Temperatures dropping off into the upper 30s to lower 40s. Will be warming into the upper 40s to lower 50s with more rain on Thursday. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
At Elk Grove Honda, you can drive a 2025 Accord Hybrid Sport and enjoy a tradition begun with the first Accord in 1976. Ask about the least you can do. We're Elk Grove Honda in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Let's go!
You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-290-7100. That's 800-290-7100.
At Power Business Technology, we're not another big box corporation. We're your neighbors, locally owned and operated. We know what businesses like yours need, from reliable printers to high-performance copiers. We'll help you find the right solution with personal service you just can't get online. Need setup or support? We're just down the road and always happy to help. Power Business Technology, family hometown service with big-time solutions. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729 or visit us at powercopiers.com.
All Americans should do what they can to prepare for the future. Donald Trump Jr. here with an important message. More and more Americans are looking for ways to diversify their hard-earned money, and gold is the perfect solution. For example, a gold IRA from my trusted friends at the Birch Gold Group lets you diversify your IRA or 401k into physical gold with zero taxes and zero penalties. You stay in control with a tangible asset that's held value for thousands of years. And right now, Birch Gold is offering a free info kit to help you understand how it works. Just text the word SECURE, SECURE, to 989898. There's no pressure, no obligation, just the facts. You can't predict the future, but you can be prepared, but only if you educate yourself. So take that first step right now. Text SECURE to the number 989898 today. That's SECURE to 989898.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
How far do you hit your 7-iron? The answers will tell you which tees to play, according to Josh Sens in Golf Magazine. Deep down, you know you shouldn't be playing from the tips, but it's common for golfers to play from too far back. Aside from higher scores, rounds become a grind and golf becomes much less fun. After several years of research, the USGA unveiled a new data-driven offering to find the proper tees called Best Tees. If you know how far you hit your 7-iron, Best Tees will tell you which tee boxes to play. A typical male golfer should be playing from 6,100 yards and a typical female golfer from 4,400 yards. Most players have a good idea of their 7-iron distance, with average male's distance of 138 yards and average females of 100 yards. Throw out the occasional perfect shot, which travels more than those distances, and concentrate on your average. This will allow you to reach the vicinity of most greens in regulation and let you hit a variety of clubs on approach shots. Leave your ego at home and give it a chance. You'll have more fun. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Kings taking on Orlando tonight. No Franz Wagner for the Orlando Magic. Named yesterday on this show as one of the NBA's most disappointing teams. Did we give them top
I
billing?
gave them
top spot?
I gave them top.
Yeah.
You know.
They still have time to right the ship, and it still would be a play-in team. But with what they gave up for Desmond Bane, disappointing. To this point.
Yeah, and I'm more so, I don't know if I'm disappointed based on the Desmond Bane thing, because when teams make these quote-unquote big moves, I know a lot of times it does take a year to figure things out, and obviously Desmond Bane isn't Kevin Durant or something like that, but it can take a period to figure it out, so it's less about them not being the first seed and more about them, the 7 seed. It's not even about Desmond Bane. It's more so about that combination of Wagner and Paolo between injuries and just, I guess, ceilings and regression.
Yeah.
They just haven't gotten there. To your point, Whitey, yeah, they're a game and a half behind the Sixers for the 6th seed. That would get them out of the play-in. But they're 3 games behind the Raptors, 5 games behind the Cavs, 6 games behind the Knicks. They're probably not getting past. They got to get real hot with no Franz Wagner to get out of the play-in.
Well, they thought 2 years ago they'd had a breakthrough year. Then last year they took a step back and they thought, we don't have enough shooting. Mm-hmm. So get Desmond Bane and we're fixed.
Yeah.
And maybe they overpaid a little bit for him. But again, I think that's because they saw needs like, yeah, but we have a dire need for this. We know he gives us this. We plug him in. We're good. And instead it's been, that didn't fix everything.
Right. Well, it's almost as if you fixed one issue, and I don't know what he's shooting 37% this season. He's a 40.6% shooter, 3-point shooter on his career. So it doesn't necessarily seem like it's Desmond Bane. It's you fix one issue, and now another issue has popped up, and that's Paolo and Franz.
Yeah. Do you know who Nate Silver is? Nate Silver is an analytics guy. He has something called the Silver Bulletin. He made a name for himself. Actually does a lot of stuff in politics. And when Obama beat Romney, and I think it was that election, he did predictions based on polling. And he said, this is the way the states are going to go. And I think that's where he made his reputation. He was like, right, every state. It's like, whoa. So he does a lot of predictions based on analytics. He does sports. And here he has today, I think this is the 3rd time he's done this. Future of the franchise. He's ranking all 30 teams. He has 2 other guys that help with this by how likely they will win a championship over the next 10 seasons.
Okay.
Do you care to hear any of this?
I think I can probably guess some of it, but sure.
Teams are ordered by the average of our rankings. Ties broken by the median. A lot of math involved. Number 30, Sacramento Kings. So least likely, according to Nate
Who's
Silver.
29?
29, Nolan's Pelicans.
Oh.
Yeah, I only have the bottom here because there's a paywall, and
you don't need the paywall for the Kings.
Well, exactly. So he's got the Bulls 27, Wizards 28, Pelicans 29, Sacramento Kings 30th. One of the guys who did some of the number crunching, Kings remain a laughing stock. This year's annual attempt to make the postseason landed so short that they fell backwards into doing what it takes to get better, losing for a better draft pick. There we go. That's what you and I disagree on, and that seems to be the consensus, is that the Kings tried to win. They just weren't good enough to do it. I think they had half an idea that they're going to be this bad, but most people agree with you. I'm slightly more optimistic on the Kings than consensus, says one of the guys, Joseph. They're the worst team in the NBA. As long as they keep tanking, the floor is the 5th pick, and this draft isn't the big 3 that mainstream outlets keep pushing. It's more like a big 5. So anyway, the Kings, based on where they are right now, look like, according to these numbers, the least likely team in the NBA to win a championship in 10 years.
My issue with the big 5 comment is that nobody can the reason it's only big 3 is because who's the 5th?
Mm-hmm.
If you polled who's the 5th right now, you're going to get 3-4 different names. Maybe more than that. So I don't necessarily buy that, but I know that was just kind of a sidebar of it.
Well, we know the top 4, don't we, pretty much?
We know the top 4, but he said top 5.
Yeah.
And they could get 5th.
That's
50-50.
because you don't put Kingston Flemings in your top 5, which you should.
I can, but somebody else might not. There's a lot of different ways to look at it. As far as what they're saying and what the Kings tried to do this season, I don't know. You know me, Whitey. I love a good conspiracy theory. In this situation, I'm just taking the Kings at their word, and I don't really know what else. This is our first opportunity with Scott Perry. In your heart of hearts, or in my heart of hearts, maybe I do believe the conspiracy theory. I just was taking them on their word. But I'll tell you this much. When you start talking about Dennis Schroeder like that, it's easy to see why people what are you trying to pull here, mister?
Yeah, this is another example of how the media nationally, they're still colored by previous perceptions of the Kings. For example, there's a part of this story that says, given the owner's rather ham-handed use of analytics and questionable decisions about who to put in power, the Kings will probably continue down the path of NBA irrelevancy. So I click on that, ham-handed use of analytics. I was actually kind of interested in a look at how the Kings have misused analytics. So look what happens, Alan. We click on there, and we get a report from 2014. Vivek Ranadive has pitched a 4-on-5 defense, leaving one player to cherry pick. That's 12 years ago, but still that's how a lot of people nationally look at the Kings.
That's also crazy.
Yes.
But you can't have stuff. Can we pay for the LeBron black vans to delete that stuff from the internet? Because that is insane. So I understand why they're talking about that. But to your point, it's really hard. I had somebody once tell me, Whitey, when someone gets an idea about you, it is extremely hard to change. And we've talked about, obviously the saying goes, you're the first time somebody meets you, first impressions.
Yeah.
Now the Kings have had a first impression, second impression, third. First impression was Bagley, right? Second impression was Halliburton. Third impression was now the De'Aaron Fox thing. So I don't know what it's going to take. It's going to take years. Frankie was talking about when his kid is able to form sentences. Every kid is different, but you're not that far away from that, Frankie. So this kid might be doing long division by the time this happens.
Yeah, calculus.
Calculus.
The good news is, okay, maybe that's true. Maybe they are least likely to win a championship in the next 10 years. I don't think Kings fans are banking on that. If that happened, great. But they don't need the Kings to win a championship in the next 10 years to be happy with the way things are going.
No. Just,
it'd be great if they did.
Right.
But that's okay. There's some middle ground there that Kings fans would be thrilled with.
Yes. Just a couple years of the XXL playoff T-shirts. That's what everybody wants. Yeah. They just want those XXL T-shirts that are way too big, but they just represent something. You go to bed, you throw one on, you say, hey, that's that playoff game that I went to those years ago.
It's so funny, Alan, as we're talking here, I'm just remembering the year after Beam Team won, having discussions on this show with Kyle and with Jay and with listeners and people in the building. Boy, they had that great series with the Warriors last year. What do they need to do this year? And some people said, you got to win a playoff series. And I remember saying, hey, they've only been in the playoffs once in 20 years. Just to get back to the playoffs would be good. And, of course, they haven't gotten back there since.
No. And The tough part about building is that it isn't linear. You know, one thing you were talking about that Warriors playoff run, and a part of that was that the Nuggets, they're probably underrated in how good they've been.
You talking about the Warriors in 22 when they won?
Yes, because that was Jokic and the Plumbers. No disrespect, but Jamal Murray was out.
Right.
I believe Aaron Gordon was out as well. It was Jokic, and I think they either got swept or won one game. It was a gentleman's sweep at best. And you look at that and you think, okay, at that time, if you remember the season prior, if I'm not mistaken, that was the big battle with the Nuggets and the Jazz. And that was when Donovan Mitchell and Jamal Murray were going crazy back and forth. And everybody thought, hey, the Nuggets, they're on their way. That next season, well, they lose Jamal Murray, right? I don't believe Aaron Gordon played, and that halted their movement up, right? So it wasn't linear, but they still had the bones and they were able to figure things out.
Right.
So that's not to say that what a lot of people thought, hey, you win one, you get to the playoffs, and then you win another. I think you were onto something. The problem was the Kings, they just went left, right, MapQuest, whatever you want to call it, and they completely got off the path because, yeah, if they had gotten back to the playoffs and lost again, fans maybe would have had short-term memory and forgotten how long it took to get there, but it would have been fine, you know, but when you got there on the backs of kind of unrealistic stat lines, it's hard to duplicate that. I think that was replicate it. That was the biggest miss from the Kings, thinking that what just happened was going to repeat.
Right. It's like, okay, we've reached that level.
Yes.
So it's a given they'll get into the playoffs.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Like, I don't know who was in that room to say Keegan Murray just broke a record for three-pointers, right, for rookies. We really think he's going to just do that again now that he's going to be on scouting reports. Kevin Huerter just had one of the best seasons of his career. We think he's just that guy now forever? That was the big miss with them.
We'll come back with a look at what Draymond thinks about Kevin Durant's Burnergate controversy. Next on Sactown Sports.
Listen to the #1 sports lineup in Sacramento.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Matt George, and Kayla Anderson. The Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Alan Stiles.
Every weekday live and local 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Online at SactownSports.com or download the app right on your phone. Your #1 source for all your Northern California sports. Sacktown Sports 1140.
Right now at Elk Grove Honda, you can lease a 2025 Accord Hybrid Sports Sedan for only $39.99 down, including first payment due at lease inception, excluding tax and license. 35 monthly payments of $299 plus tax, license, and 0 security deposit on approved credit. Mileage in excess of 10,000 per year at 20 cents per mile. It really is the lease you can do. We're Elk Grove Honda in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 and Elk Grove Boulevard, or on the web at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Running a business takes grit, vision, and a partner who believes in your success as much as you do. At Valley Strong Credit Union, business banking is built around you, the entrepreneurs, the growers, the dreamers, powering our community. Whether you need flexible checking, faster payments, or financing to take your next big step, Valley Strong brings local expertise and real relationships to every stage of your business. Because when local businesses thrive, the whole valley grows stronger. Valley Strong Credit Union. Grow your business, grow your future. ValleyStrong.com/business.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Planet Fitness has everything you need anytime the motivation hits, so you can give everything you've got. With most clubs open 24 hours, you've got access to our best-in-class equipment to tackle early morning reps, late night miles, and every workout in between. Join the club today and save $28 or more when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends February 27th. You ready? Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See club for details.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
At InShape, we have a place for every kind of mover. The Sometimer, the early riser, the after-work grinder, the yogi, lifter, bodybuilder, walker, runner, swimmer, spinner, stretcher, rower, climber, jumper, dancer, boxer, sauna seeker, recoverer. Basically, if you walk, lift, stretch, or sweat, you belong at InShape. So whether it's your first time or your first time in a while, start the year strong and join today at InShape.com. Find a location nearest to you.
Country in the Park is back. May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo. Miranda Lambert. John Party. Chris Young. Turnpike Troubadours. Dylan Scott and more. Line dancing, mechanical bulls, and food trucks. Make it a lucky night out of live country music and dancing for your crew. Tickets start at only $68. Country in the Park May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo with Bar None Auction, Sky River Casino, and Trex Decking and Railing. More info at CITPFest.com. It's
95. Hey. When I walk the city, I'ma rock the baby. Got a classic leather with a classic.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Alan, I have to defer to you in matters involving social media.
Okay.
I know you're pretty active when it comes to social media. Mm-hmm. And I know we've touched on this story, the accusations, the allegations that Kevin Durant had a burner account in which he said disparaging things about current and former players. What do you think? Legit? Is it real?
I need to see more before I decide, oh, yeah, that's definitely him. It doesn't look good.
Gilbert Arenas says, oh, that's not KD.
Yeah, it doesn't look good, but I'm still not seeing a strong enough paper trail. Or I'm still not seeing enough of a crumb trail to say that's definitely KD.
What do you think of KD's response? I know we talked about it yesterday. He said, I'm not going to talk about Twitter nonsense.
It's stuck. Just like you said, danged if you don't, darned if you do. But the idea that, he was going to say, yeah, that was me. There's nothing he can say right now. I think we will find out. He could have
at least said it wasn't me, and he didn't say that. Couldn't he at least have said, yeah, that wasn't me?
But that's the whole thing with, oh, look at him vehemently denying it, that it must be him. There's nothing he could say. But it's his fault for being in this situation. If you're somebody that it fits, right? If this was, I don't know, Steph, people would say, well, that doesn't sound like Steph. But Kevin Durant, it kind of sounds like he already had a burner.
Yeah,
this isn't the first time.
Draymond Green on KD and the burner accusations, quote, I personally would address it publicly if it's a public thing and taking on the life that is taken. But to each his own. But I'll tell you what. If it is, I don't know how you walk back into practice. I mean, walking back into practice after the break, almost you walk into the locker room, it'd probably feel like a Key and Peele sketch. Just a little awkward, like, what do you do? What's up, bro? I don't know. Yeah, but anyway, these are alleged. It's alleged to be KD's burner account. Maybe one day we'll know the truth. Maybe we already know the truth.
That guy, look, he's entertaining, don't get me wrong, but he's got to be the He's got to have the least self-awareness of any athlete in the last 25 years. The way he talks is as if he's never had any issues.
Their
at
relationship, based on what we know publicly, Draymond and Katie, it's incredibly fascinating.
Yeah.
They yell at each other, then they get together. Oh, man, it wasn't our fault. It was Bob Myers.
Yes, yes. He just loves to throw shots.
Yeah.
And look, this has been my whole thing about the new media conversation, about how we're gonna do our thing because
cut out the middleman.
We're gonna cut out the middleman and we're gonna focus on the real stuff because all of you like the drama. All of you like to get stuck on different things. We're in the locker room.
Yeah.
We know the truth.
Right.
And then they do the same exact thing. It's just different because they play.
Trashier than the real media.
In some cases, it's worse because they got the inside scoop on it.
Right.
Like that one guy who said, yeah, Russell Wilson invited me to his house for Thanksgiving, and it was weird. Right? A journalist would never do that because a journalist would never be in that situation. Now it's just friendly fire from these guys.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
I love that. Maybe someday we'll know the truth. Maybe we already do.
Maybe we already do. Oh, my goodness.
I know a big story today in the NBA, again, is the NBA coming out saying we're going to crack down on tanking. We've got anti-tanking rule changes that we're implementing next season. I think this is a bigger problem for the NBA than tanking. I get that tanking is an issue, but I know NBA All-Stars, when they were asked about the biggest problem in the league right now by The Athletic, a majority of them, or a lot of them said, the number one answer, I should say, was, it's players not participating. This was this morning. I just took a picture of this so I could keep track of it. Top headlines, ESPN.com on the NBA page, okay? These are the top headlines this morning. Sources, Kings Sabonis LaVine done for the season. Next story, Curry still out for Warriors. Porzingis set to debut. Next story, Flags Mavericks debut jersey sells for $1 million. Then you got Grizzlies Morant to miss at least 2 more weeks. Then you got Kyrie to miss rest of the season. Then you got Magic's Wagner out indefinitely. Then the next one is Embiid out against Hawks due to sore right shin. And then there's something about the Nuggets and power rankings. So you had of the 9 headlines, 6 of them were about people that weren't playing.
Right. And some of those teams, I would say half those teams you named off were not tanking.
Right.
The Sixers are not tanking.
Yeah. And some of those are big names that people want to see.
It's a problem. And I think they're masking it he's trying to find this gray area where we don't know who's injured and we don't know who's not injured, but we know who's injured just based on the teams.
Yes. And a lot of it is legit. I'm not blaming the players. Guys break down.
Right.
Yeah. And so that's why I think those are saying, the season should be shorter. Steve Kerr says that. I think they're probably right, but let's face it, that's just not going to happen.
You keep saying that it's not going to happen. I don't know. I mean, when things get thrown around a lot, there are a lot of people talking about it, and I'm not saying that it'll happen in our lifetime, to be honest with you.
Okay. But I mean, who's going to give up the dates?
I do feel like...
What owners are going to say, you're right, we won't have a game?
Hold on. Well, it depends on what happens, right? And, it's not fair, but and we don't want this, but if there are more catastrophic injuries specifically to stars, I think they'd have to do something, right? With this new crop, because I know LeBron played AAU, but LeBron and Steph, AAU now is not even what it was 15, 20 years ago. I mean, these kids got double headers, triple headers every single day. So, and I know people have talked about that being part of the wear and tear when you compare it to the Rick Barrys of the world and guys like that. So once those guys are gone, LeBron, Steph, DeMar, all those guys, if this new crop, if there really is an issue with the amount of money that's being thrown around, now obviously you play less games to be less money, but with the money that's being thrown around, I think it could be possible. Now we might be talking,
I'd like to think so,
10, 20 years from now, and it wouldn't be Adam Silver's call. And I know Bill Simmons has said this could be Adam Silver's shining moment. I don't think it's happening now, but I think in a decade, if we see more guys lose years, because think about it like this, Whitey. When Kevin Durant went down, that was one of the more unique situations with his Achilles. We saw KD, Clay, and they were both approaching 30, right? And we saw that happen, and it was around the same time. But even prior to that, okay, you remember Kobe, and you remember Boogie, but Boogie was a little older. This is the first time. I know Dame is older, but it was Dame who we don't necessarily have to count, but Tatum and Halliburton. If this starts affecting, with all the technology that Rick Barry liked to talk about we have now, if this starts happening to a younger crop of players, they won't have a choice. And I saw an article, I didn't get a chance to read it, but it said the 2 scariest words for an NBA organization right now. You want to know what those words were?
What?
Calf strain. The 2 scariest words right now. And you see them pop up. And even Giannis, he's had Achilles issues, and even AD, and they've managed around it and things like that. So I do think there'd have to be some more martyrs or sacrifices, if you will. But I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility.
All right, we'll come back with a possible solution to that. Also, which 3 Kings have the most at stake the rest of this season, which resumes tonight? We'll wrap things up. Drive Guys, Sactown Sports.
Download the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento sports in your pocket. This is Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side, your Sleep Number setting. Enjoy personalized comfort for better sleep night after night. And now, during our President's Day sale, take 50% off our limited edition bed, plus free home delivery with any bed and base. Ends Monday. Only at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140.
beam for Sacramento Kings. We the beam team, ayy. Like the beam for Sacramento Kings. Like the beam.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sactown Sports.
Anybody remember a couple of years ago, the Magic came in here and the Kings beat them in that double overtime game? Remember that? What a great game.
Yeah, we talked, I think, before the All-Star break about how Magic and Kings, for some reason, it's always a good game.
Yeah.
Going back to a couple years ago, they get after it, those two.
Didn't Darren have a miraculous game winner in Orlando a couple years ago?
Yes, yeah, and I remember they won that game, and I think Malik Monk, he had that rough stretch right before Luka flopped on him. I think he put up a donut in that game. They still won in Orlando.
27-30.
Anything can happen, and usually does when these two teams get together. The Kings and the Orlando Magic. Big game for Orlando. For the Kings, I don't know. Which three Kings have the most at stake the rest of this season, Alan? Would you say? I would say, while you think about it, I think Keegan, he's got an opportunity to prove, and he talked about it at practice, that he can be a 1 or a 2, and again, another chance. I know the Kings have kind of tried this with fits and starts, making sure that, Keegan's the guy now. It's Keegan's team, said DeMar DeRozan. Then he kept getting hurt, so now that's something they can focus on, and I think that'll go a long ways towards perhaps deciding what the Kings do with him in the offseason. Secondly, I'd say Devin Carter is still trying to prove that he belongs in the league, and he's done some nice things, but he's got to continue to play a lot, and he's got to play better. And I would say, thirdly, Doug Christie. Doug Christie has to somehow, some way, hold this thing together against impossible odds. I'm not saying they got to win games because they're not trying to do that, which makes his job tougher, but he's got to stay in position where he's able to hold all these different swirling elements and objectives together.
Yeah, I think Doug is connected to all of them, so I'll forego on Doug.
Okay.
I agree with you on Keegan. I'm going to add Neek. Because, like we've said, Neek at night, it's an outstanding nickname, by the way. I believe that was Mark Jones.
I believe it's Mark Jones.
Okay, outstanding nickname, but he goes ice, ice, baby. When he's cold, that brother is cold. When he's hot, he's hot. So I do like adding Neek there. I agree with you on Keegan Murray. And for number 3, this is, I don't want to copy you again because I already copied you.
But that's okay because I went first. So
yeah, I don't want to copy
I took all the
you
good ones.
With Keegan. It's probably unfair because I'm using another guy from the same draft, but I would say, is it too late, Whitey, to want to see some outside shooting from Maxime in the second half? Is this a situation where, I don't know, they just get in the lab this summer and come back better than ever?
I like that.
Or do we think, hey, Maxime, let's see if you can get comfortable here? To me, Whitey, and I always talk about my time at YMCA, this is not YMCA with a 5-game wait. This is Sunday afternoon. Nobody's there. So you can just run it back. There's only 10 of you there. You're more worried about somebody leaving, and then you only have 9 people. There's no 10-game wait like Monday night. This is a Sunday afternoon run. Do what you need to do. You're not worried about focusing on, hey, let's make sure we score our buckets. No. Try out some new stuff.
Yeah. Alan, I don't know if you could tell. Can you see how this finger's kind of bent?
I definitely can.
Yeah. Okay, so we were playing, I think it was 3-on-3 on a Sunday morning in a gym, and there's only 6 people there, right? So everybody stays on. So it's game point, and I go to the basket, and this guy grabs me.
Okay.
He's like, oh, no layups.
Right.
It didn't matter.
Right.
And as he grabbed me, he did that to my finger, and I think he broke my finger. I was so angry because it's like, there's no reason for you to do that.
No.
If you lost, we're still going to play the next game.
You don't got to sit.
Right.
That's ridiculous.
I was so angry.
You got it checked out?
No.
That's why it's still like that?
It didn't heal right.
Took
honestly,
me
a while playing the guitar to go, oh, wait a minute.
You should tell people that you play football. They all got jacked up fingers.
Yeah.
You say, I played football back in the day. You know, got crossing route with Larry Fitzgerald, Larry's, and went the wrong way.
Or you say I played catcher, but that's
catcher. Right. Yeah. But that's what it is for the Kings. I've continue to reference D'Angelo Russell. It's great playing free basketball. This is free basketball. And making sure, I think Doug's job, as we've mentioned DeMar DeRozan before, kind of being on the same page. I'm not coming at Russell Westbrook, but Maybe just a quick convo.
Oh, I think he is.
Just a quick chat.
He's coming for Russ.
No, I'm not. Just a quick chat with Russ. Hey, you're already doing it. Let's just make sure that we're continuing to push this thing. You find your spots. Find your spots. We want you to climb up that list. But if you play 21 minutes, the only way you need to be getting 70 points is if you're the only guy on the court for the Sacramento Kings.
Do you think with Maxime in the 3, is it like, wow, he's got to start making those and he's got to start making them soon? Or is it like, it'd be nice if he does it?
I just think I brought up the example with my cat. You know, they told us the cat could play fetch and it doesn't play fetch. So it's still a nice cat. But we thought it was going to make us go viral. You know, we'd be millionaires. So he's a nice player, but we thought he was going to shoot the 3, didn't you?
I thought he could. Yeah. And he's throwing a few up there now and then.
Yeah. If you take away the banks, he's probably made about 4.
Mm-hmm.
So that should be his focus. Just the same way we're talking about Keegan. Max, when you get the ball, do what you got to do.
Focus?
Well, no. I'm just saying. Let's see how much he can expand his offensive skill set. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy.
Yeah. To me, I see it as it'd be nice if we see a little more of it. I think there's more important things for him to work on going forward. By the way, he has, where's the totals here?
Yeah, I know
Pardon
where
me.
you're going.
Yeah. He's 11 for 41.
5 of those have been banks.
Yeah. So 268.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how he made 11. I just want to see it. That's all I was drooling, Whitey. I was drooling watching him at Stanford and the Kings took him and we fired up all the highlight tape. I just want to see it.
Last 5 games from beyond the arc, 0 for 5.
Here you go.
0 for 5.
It's not even about making them to me. Just take them. Just
Really?
take them. Take them.
I think it's more you got to get better at some of the things, more traditional center things you need to do, like just holding your own physically against bigger, older men, and then, we'll work on expanding your game.
So you want it a little bit like what we've seen with Şengün and Klingon, where their first seasons, and even Zach Edey's putting them up now, those guys, their first seasons, they weren't really focused on it. I think the difference is, Whitey, Zach Edey wasn't shooting threes. It's weird when it was sold as something. Zach Edey wasn't shooting threes in college, and I don't believe Klingon was either. So I just look at them differently.
If I could be frank with you, Alan, or Larry, if I could be frank with Larry, I would like to see Maxime get an extended period in the gym working on that before he starts letting them fly.
But that's what I asked you. I said, is this a situation where he just needs to get in the gym, lock him in the gym this summer?
Because it doesn't look great. Let's be honest.
So you're saying...
We know it's something that he's shown a little bit of a propensity for, but right now it's probably not where it needs to be. You're going to shoot a few here and there, but we're going to really get in and work on that and clean it up.
So you're saying, and you know the most one of the most basic foods, right, when you're becoming a chef is making a good omelet. So you're saying, hey, Maxime needs to learn how to make a good omelet. That's the body work. That's not fouling, right? That's holding your own as an NBA player.
Right.
We don't need him to work on the frittata quite yet.
I think that is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
and
right.
I had no idea of that until you got about...
I hear you.
90% of the way through with that, and it's like it clicked. It's like, oh, yeah.
Just make the omelet, Maxime. Just make the omelet.
Yeah. I mean, he's a rookie center in the NBA. He's getting shoved around a little bit. That happens.
Yeah.
That happens.
Muscle milk, creatine. They got creatine.
Put it in the omelet.
Put it in the omelet. They got creatine gummies now. You see that? Creatine gummies, Maxime.
Uh-huh.
We got you.
Yeah.
That's legal.
Apparently you don't put milk in an omelet, right? I always thought, that'll be better. And I was told by my mom, never. You just put water.
It depends on who you ask.
Okay.
Maxime, look it up. Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah, he's making French toast.
But he is making some French toast.
We know that.
You need eggs, though.
Uh-huh.
You still need them.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
How about this talk of Keegan? Maybe Scott Perry might be thinking if he plays well enough, maybe you move him this offseason, get back into that first round.
From a larger perspective,
Matt George suggested that, as you know.
I think we're doing too much with this Keegan from the perspective of what he can accomplish in, 26 games? Whitey, 5 of those games is going to be Keegan getting his sea legs.
Yeah.
He's missed so much of the season.
Right.
I have a very low. I want to see, again, just like Maxime in the omelet, I don't need to see Keegan shoot 50% from 3. I just want to see.
What kind of dish you need Keegan to cook?
Man, wait, I might need a ribeye. Wait, Keegan got a 5-year deal, Whitey. I need ribeye medium plus. That's what I need.
Okay.
So I want to see him just attempt stuff. I don't need him to go. Frankie brought up, could he be a 20-10 guy? I don't need to see that the last 20 so odd games because he hasn't played. I just want to see his intent. I want to see him trying out stuff.
What's funny to me about his three-point shot, and we know historically he can make it at a high clip. It's a little flat, but bear with me. I'm not sitting here mystery. It's just too flat. Dame Lillard's a great three-point shooter. He also has a pretty flat shot, doesn't he?
But
even when he won the three-point contest,
right.
It works. Steph is the beautiful kind of never up, never in, the old golf saying, applying to basketball. You got to get it up there to get it in, and you got a better chance. The higher it is, the better the chance it's going to go in the basket. But Dame shoots it's not that high archer, and Keegan's isn't either, but Dame shows me that can work too.
Yeah, the difference is Dame shoots a lot of step back, so he's getting that momentum. Keegan is shooting flat-footed a lot. So I think even that little bit, and obviously Keegan is much taller than Dame.
Yeah.
So I see what you're saying, but that little, trust me, I like the Dame little bounce. I kind of need that bounce.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Keegan doesn't have that bounce.
Right.
He just goes straight up because a lot of times it's catch and shoot. So I don't know how much that affects it. But
Yeah. The Kings are really a bad three-point shooting team. They're a bad shooting team, and they can't guard people. So, what's wrong? And it's been this way for years. Both those things have been declining. They've went from a not a good defensive team to a bad to right now they're a terrible defensive team, and their shooting has declined. So, does that mean that in the draft that's what you got to look at? I think it is defensively based on what they've told us. I do think that's an area that they have to keep in mind going forward with who they bring in.
Yeah, I would agree with that, especially with Doug. Going back to the three people that you chose, not just players.
You said I can't pick Doug. So
No, you can pick Doug. I was just going to follow up on it and I guess ask the question, do you think Scott Perry's already made his mind up with what they're going to do with Doug? Do these 26 games matter at all for Doug?
I would guess he has a pretty good idea.
I would assume the same thing.
And I would guess that they don't want to do anything right now.
Yeah, because they're not done figuring out where they're at.
Right.
They don't know who's going to be on the team, and they don't know what's going to happen next. So for Doug, I do think it's more about laying the groundwork for next season. You can have a lost season. I know the win thing is weird. You can have a lost season, but if they can say, hey, and I know we've gone back and forth with the offense. I don't know. It's probably too late now with 26 games. Maybe it's more of an off-season thing, but you're going to have a young team. You have to have a little bit more structure.
Yeah, and also your offense needs to produce better shots. And I know I looked at these numbers earlier today from Extra Stats. Every team in the league leads the league in something. The Kings lead the league in percentage of two-point field goal attempts, 16 feet or further from the basket. What? Long twos, in other words. Those are the worst shots to take in the NBA. Some of that, a lot of it is the personnel, but you need an offense that's producing better shots.
Yeah. You
need players who aren't going to settle for those.
Right.
Or in some cases, actually seek them out.
Yeah. And again, that goes back to how this is going to look with Russ and DeMar to end the season. Because if Doug does try to implement things, hey, guys, I need you to run this, even if it doesn't seem like the perfect time. I know Russ has been great that's been the biggest argument. Russ has been great for Maxime and to a lesser degree, Dylan Cardwell, setting them up and figuring out where to go. But Russ isn't going to be the point guard of the future. So I do wonder how much that stuff is going to, I guess, roll over when they do get a new guy kind of in there. But when it comes to the offense, I don't know, Whitey. I understand what you're saying, and I'm saying the same thing, but you can't just implement something in the last third of the season.
No,
I don't know what they do.
I'm talking about like next year going forward when they're actually trying to be good again.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And the last thing you brought up, Devin Carter, how long do we give a player before we decide, he just can't shoot, right? We were talking about the Giants and, they bring in Harrison Bader. And he had a great season. A lot of people don't think he's going to hit like that. But the talk about Bo Davidson, this kind of 23-year-old stud from JUCO, he's been outstanding. And I'm thinking, man.
He's been outstanding. What is it? It's February 19th again, but okay.
He's been outstanding.
Yeah.
No. The last couple seasons to get to this point. Mm-hmm. He's with the Giants right now in Arizona. And Alex Pavlovich came out and said he could be with the camp this season. He's slated to be 2027. So you know what that told me? Well, they're clearly not that high on Drew Gilbert, and they're clearly not that high on Grant McCray. And when did the Giants decide?
Isn't Grant McCray your guy?
He was.
Yeah.
He was. But they decided, yeah, we've seen Grant McCray for about 70 games, and we don't think he can do it. For Devin Carter, at what point do they decide, well, offensively for Grant McCray, he can't hit. At what point do they decide, yeah, Devin can't shoot?
Well, you know this. The difference is the Giants are trying to be good now. Right. They want to be. And so Devin Carter has probably more leeway. He's an asset. He's under contract, right? So there's no reason for them to move off of him anytime soon. Because who knows? Maybe he finds it. If he finds a jump shot, maybe you got something. And I don't think they're in any rush to find that out. You'd love for him to start making shots, but it's not like you need to start making shots in the next 10 games or we're going to move on.
No. They picked up that option.
Yeah,
we know that.
Yeah.
And again,
so I think that gives them, to answer your question, I think it gives them a longer runway.
Value-wise, too, I don't even know if he's a sweetener at this point. Whether it's hitting, whether it's throwing a football, or whether it's shooting. Remember how
Dave can't throw a spiral, apparently.
Dave can't. But remember how Josh Allen, they fixed his accuracy issues, so it turned into, we can do the same thing with Trey Lance, right? And he had kind of he had a little hitch in the way he threw. And I think he's tried to shorten it up, do some different things. I know how it is when you do something for a long time and then you try to change it, but then when you get back, it's like golf. Then when you get back into the game, you kind of do what you're used to. Early on, you remember that clip, Whitey, because I think we did cross-talk on it. When Devin Carter hit that game winner, that shot looked different. That shot was quick and it was smooth. And I'm wondering, it's not about moving Devin, but do you have a conversation, hey, we really do need you to try to shoot a different way? Because when things are longer, it's harder to repeat.
Yeah. A great point. I don't know if it's a great point. A key factor, I should say, is how willing is he to do that? I don't mean to imply that he's not. I don't know. But if he's not, it's like when LaMelo went to the Hornets, they said, we got to fix that. You saw your brother's shot.
Yeah.
And Lonzo had said, all right, we'll work on it. He worked on it. He got better. LaMelo said, no, I'm good. And he ended up being a decent shooter.
Right.
Yeah. So it's really,
But he was already a good shooter. It just didn't look right.
Yeah. So I'm saying a big part of how successful that might be is Devin Carter's got to go, you're right. It's time for me to do something about that. And maybe I don't know. But if he's like, no, this works, then you're really limited.
No, he can't say that.
Well, he could. You know how people are. You know how athletes are. You know, sometimes you're like, no, I know this.
No, not when there's stats saying otherwise. Not when there's percentages.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's really not.
One thing I'll say, he has tremendous range. If you ever watch him like warming up, he takes jump shots from way downtown.
Whitey.
That's it. No.
You're trying to get me in trouble.
No, I'm not. Because I've said it before and I'll say it again. That jump shot is ugly as a bus crash.
Mm-hmm. It's not good. It's not good. And you got to go to him and you got to figure things out because he's going to have to just be serviceable. Like we talked about. Malik Monk, 30. You got to
Smaller player.
You got to get to
You're
35.
6'2". How are you going to overcome that? Well, I'm a good rebounder. Okay. Can you play point? Working on it. Can you shoot? Sometimes.
Yeah.
That's not going to cut it.
Right. You have to be
good defender, but a smaller defender too.
The smaller you are, the higher your percentage has to be. If you are under 6'3", you have to shoot at least 35% from three. I'm serious. I'm dead serious.
Right. It was just amazing to watch you come up with that out of thin air. And as you said it, I had to go, that might be right.
I'm pretty sure you can't be worse than that. And look at Malik.
He's there was a time when 35 was like, that's okay. And now 35 is like,
it's serviceable.
It's acceptable.
Yes. Yeah. So.
Because you got guys shooting. What'd you say, Malik shooting this year? Is he still
Malik
over 40?
is at 42.
Yeah. I got to ask you what you thought. I have my own opinion. We'll get to that. Ben Golliver on with Kevin O'Connor said, hey, Kings fans, here's my advice. You got to start following the Cavs and root for Keon Ellis. They went on about how great Keon's playing for the Cavs. They haven't lost a game since they got it. Well, they also got James Harden. You think that might have something to do with it?
No.
What did you make of that? And he said, Keon couldn't get any minutes, and then the first game against Sacramento, he went off for 20. He'd averaged 17 minutes a game here, and I think in that game, he played 17 minutes. So what are we doing, Alan?
What did we say?
Don't these people have to actually watch the games?
It's not even low-hanging fruit. It's that, what did you say, the fruit from on the ground?
It's a rotting fruit on the ground.
That's what that was. Shout out Ben Golliver, but, Kings fans aren't going to do that. And some Kings fans are going to follow loosely. Ben, are you saying to go get League Pass and adopt the Cavs for the rest of the season? I think a lot of Kings fans are already going to follow Keon. What are we talking about?
Right. Yeah.
What are we talking about?
And he tried to be nice. Oh, the Kings fans are great. They were right about Keon. And then Kevin O'Connor, they're the most passionate fans. He knows because they come after him all the time.
Yes, he does. Yeah. I do wonder, though.
That was really kind of a backhanded slap, though.
No,
right?
It is. I do wonder that if Keon does ball out, if people are going to look back, and I don't even know if it matters what DeAndre Hunter does or not, but if Keon does continue to ball out, and let's say the Cavs have a deep playoff run, will people come back to Scott Perry and say, man, either what was Scott Perry doing to let him go? That's number one. Or option number two, what was Scott Perry doing to let him go with Dennis Schroeder for 28-year-old DeAndre Hunter?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It could be one of those things where I feel like the Kings really didn't get killed that much for this trade. Let Keon have some moments in the playoffs, and this will be another thing to add to the list. And Scott Perry will probably tell you if he had truth serum, look, there just weren't a lot of opportunities available at that time, as Sam Amick kind of alluded to on these airwaves, but that doesn't matter. And again, that'll be another feather in the cap. They'll throw him Whitey. Remember when Davion Mitchell grabbed that rebound over Trae Young? And all of a sudden, I see Davion on graphics with Tyrese Halliburton and De'Aaron Fox. The Kings got rid of 3 elite point guards. Come on, guys. Really? That's what we're doing? Let Keon ball out. People are going to say, the Kings, they lost Keon to pair with Dennis Schroeder in a salary dump for DeAndre Hunter. To be fair, Whitey, I think a lot of Kings fans, myself included, will kind of agree with the naysayers at that point in time, because I didn't get it.
Mm-hmm. I don't think, and I'm not saying it was right, I don't think Scott Perry wanted Keon. Or maybe they knew that he wasn't going to sign. And I also think they moved assets to get assets back. Again, I'm not saying it was right. I'm just saying it wasn't idiotic. Mm-hmm. We'll find out if it was smart or not. You moved assets to get a guy back that they think they can trade for something of value in DeAndre Hunter.
Funny enough, I would never root for somebody's downfall, but wouldn't you argue the opposite? If you're a Kings fan, don't you kind of want Keon not to go off?
Boy, I don't know.
So you don't feel worse that he's not on your team anymore?
Not Keon, because he's still, Kings fans love him.
You can love him and just want the shots to not go in.
I don't know if that's really love, Alan.
I'm just saying, do you really need salt? Yeah, Ben, let's throw some more salt in the same wound that's been reopened 4 different times, from Luka to Bagley to De'Aaron to Halliburton. Let's just reopen it again with a Davion. Just little cuts, Whitey, just little paper cuts.
I don't think it's as bad as Ben Gulliver would have us believe, because I was looking at some numbers, and I think Keon, I'm a Keon guy, his numbers with the Cavs have been pretty much right where they were with the Kings.
Yeah, did you say he dropped 20? Keon dropped 20 or
That's
played
what
20
he
minutes?
said.
No, he dropped 6.
No,
I know.
He never dropped
But
no
if you listen to the clip, he says, well, he didn't get a lot of minutes, and then that had to be great. In the revenge game, he dropped 20. And
I think he played 20 minutes.
I think so. He didn't say it very clearly. By the way, I don't think he even played 20. I think he played 17.
This is the type of stuff I'm talking about. Can we just get the games back so y'all can just leave Sacramento be?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like, do you watch the game?
No,
if you're going to say these things, you at least got to be right.
No, they don't. They didn't even watch that game. They saw highlights on SportsCenter. Keon balled out. And Keon had that crazy finish. They have been playing well, but yeah, I mean, oh my goodness, the Cavs turned it around because
that was the Keon.
That's right.
Game. Yeah.
Oh, they're balling out because Keon is playing 15 minutes a game, not the fact that it's James Harden versus Darius Garland's toe.
Thank you. By the way, they've won all their games, if I'm not mistaken, since they traded for Keon and James Harden.
And stop sleeping on Dennis Schroeder. See, Dennis Schroeder got bad PR, so nobody cares.
I know.
Nobody's saying, man, the Kings got rid of Dennis Schroeder.
Well, it's hard for people to get attached to him when he's, he's only in one city for like 2.5 months.
Yeah, I mean, he moves pretty much as often as Darren Peterson gets subbed out.
My wife works at a hospital, and she says there's people that work at a hospital, they're called travelers, and they'll come in, and whatever they do, they might be speech therapists, they might be doctors, I guess, and they come in and they fill in for a while, for a few months, and then they go to the next hospital somewhere. And he's like a traveler.
Yeah, the traveling nurses and things like
that.
Yeah, that. And there's nothing wrong with that style, I guess you kind of get used to it and you enjoy it. I think that was the saddest part of the Kings' tenure not working out is I think he was kind of prepared to finally set up shop with his family and, didn't work out.
It sure sounded like it on media day.
It did.
I mean, I was even buying it too, talking to him. You see the look in his eyes like, oh, okay.
I think he bought it and he's thinking, oh, I finally get to settle in somewhere. And Scott said, don't forget my podcast.
Yeah, that's why I wonder about the notion that, no, they knew they were going to be good in it, or they thought they were going to be good and it didn't work out. Because from the beginning of the preseason, you could watch that team and go, ooh, nope, I'm not sure what's wrong, but something's wrong here.
Yeah.
This is not a very good team.
Yeah, we have somebody on the chat, White. I know we got to get out of here.
We're good.
Somebody on the chat saying Keon already has 7 points in 8 minutes, 1 of 1 from 3. Yeah, thank you very much. The Cavs are winning 74-50 playing the Nets. So thanks for playing. Thank you for that.
But we're rooting for Keon.
We are rooting for Keon.
I don't know about you.
But you have 7 and 8 minutes against the Nets, really? Might as well be playing the Kings.
If you prorate, that's like playing a G League team, isn't it?
Yeah, well, he balled out against the Kings too.
Mm-hmm.
Revenge game.
All right, you coming back for Big Friday?
I'm ready to go, man.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go. Brendan and Frankie, they got me fired up with it's gonna be Frankie, my kid's gonna be 6'3" by the time the Kings are good again. I'm ready to rock and roll now. I'm ready for Friday.
All right. Are you ready for Kings basketball? The return of Kings basketball.
I'm ready for Friday.
Okay. Kings and the Magic coming up. We'll take you to game night next right here on Sactown Sports. Enjoy the game.
Shoot the J, stay ready. Legends in the crown heavy. Half court buzzer beater. Pacific Conference leader.
Visit SactownSports.com and join the Sactown Sports 1140 newsletter.
Meet Matthew Preston. Inside his apartment, everything he holds dear is protected by Progressive's renter's insurance, like his laptop and a surprisingly valuable collection of baseball bobbleheads. Outside his apartment, his laptop is still protected, as are his bobbleheads, which he carries around with him for reasons no one knows. Renters, the limits of protection aren't just the four walls of your home. When you're in Progressive's Protection Zone, get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy